Shabbat Shalom, family. Welcome to Moving on Faith. It's me, Ana Malave, and you're with me here in my garden for some garden talk. Now, the topic I want to talk about was actually inspired by a post I saw by a brother on Facebook, and it was actually one of my husband's friends. And it was an interesting post because it was a think piece, right? So here's the question. Should married women post selfies? Or we can even go broader and say, should women be posting selfies, right? What's the reason for this? And should we be doing it? So, sisters, let's dive into this. As you see, I got my gardening hat on. I'm not actually gardening, but I do like it. It does make me feel like a real gardener. So I'm going to wear it. Also, it's very sunny out, so it's kind of shielding my eyes from the sun. Praise Yah. All right, so here's the thing. I want to first go to Proverbs 31 and 30, and I'll read it. Charm is deceitful. So charm, right? It could be deceitful. It could be a lie. And beauty is vain. Beauty is worthless. It's nothing. But a woman who fears Yah is to be praised. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. There's a mouthful to say right there. So here's the thing. I can't speak for anyone, and I don't want to speak for anyone. I'm only going to speak for myself, and you can glean from this what you feel applies to you. And if it doesn't apply to you, that's fine too. So here's the thing. Growing up, when I became a young woman, like late teens, early 20s, I cut my hair off, like really, really short. Like I had the Riri cut back in the day. And people didn't really understand why, but for me, it was I had spent a good portion of my life feeling the pressure to be beautiful, and I hated that. I actually resented, and I don't think I'm like the most beautiful woman, right? But I resented being what the world would say is like pretty or whatnot. I resented that, and I never wanted to be the woman or the girl who was seen as just being the pretty face. I didn't want that to be me. Actually, I despised that idea and that ideal. And I actually despised people who aimed for that. Aimed to be the pretty girl, the pretty woman, most prettiest. Like, yeah, that just wasn't me. And I didn't want to be that person. And I didn't really like people who wanted to be that type of person. Just because I didn't see any real value in being pretty. Because being pretty doesn't get you good grades in school, right? Being pretty doesn't get you a full ride scholarship to college. Being pretty doesn't make you athletic. Being pretty doesn't make you wise. It doesn't make you intelligent. Being pretty doesn't help you get a good job. Well, maybe in some cases. But a good stature job, a career, right? Being pretty doesn't do any of those things. I guess in the world to some degree, but in reality, it's never long lasting. And I never wanted to be that person who fell into that category, that type of woman. I wanted to be the woman who was known for being intelligent and strong and wise, and someone who young girls could look up to and say, you know what, like, I don't want to go down that route. I'd rather go down this route and be this kind of woman. And then as I got older, that separation from that type of woman grew, and I actually really wanted to be seen. Honestly, like, even that's why I kind of took down my profile picture of myself, and the reason being is because I have something to say. I'm not the most well-versed in the scriptures, right? There are people who truly, they are just immaculate when it comes to their understanding and what they know. But the little bit that I do know, I want to share that with people. I want to share that with the other sisters, especially the young sisters coming into Torah, and the ones who are not yet fully in Torah, or who have questions about Torah, right? So I want to be a help to them, sister to sister. And the one thing I don't want people to do is to be so distracted by what I look like that they're not listening to what I'm saying, that they're not listening to the word, that they're not listening to the message that is being brought forth. And a lot of times, what you look like, sorry about that, my neighbor's dogs, they're like, girl, you pretty. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, what I was saying, a lot of times your beauty can be a distraction from what you're actually trying to say. So I didn't want to be seen, and still don't want to be seen as being a pretty woman or an attractive woman. Obviously, I want to be attractive for my husband, right? But even that, I mean, I talk to my husband about it all the time. Like, when we first got together, he wasn't attracted to me because of how I looked, which was different for me at the time, right? Especially coming into Torah. But no, he was attracted to my desire to be righteous. He was attracted to my hunger and thirst for knowledge and wisdom and understanding. And these are the things that excited him about me. These are the things that really put us together. These are the things that, when he looked at me, that's the beauty he saw. And then as I became his wife, and more so even when I became the mother of his children, and I began to carry his children, that process and that stage in my life of the kind of woman I was becoming was more attractive to him than who I was prior to Torah. You know, the way I dress. I know the world likes for women to dress sexy and, you know, stylish and trendy and all that, but my husband actually loves it when I am, you know, dressing super modestly, and he loves it even more when I'm pregnant. He's like, that's right, girl, carry my baby. No, but yeah, so in a nutshell, that's what I think of beauty. You know, being beautiful is it's so stupid. It is so stupid. Sorry, it's my opinion. You know, don't, and my message to younger sisters and even older sisters, even married sisters, right? Put that vanity aside. It's going to do nothing for you. It is pointless. It is useless. It is worth nothing. And actually it will work towards your detriment, and it will, especially if you're trying to do the work of Yah. A lot of times people won't see the work that you're doing for Yah because they're so distracted by what you look like. And so we need to minimize ourselves in order to put Yah at the forefront and his work at the forefront, which is what we should be wanting to do. People hear the phrase like, oh, minimize myself. That sounds like oppression. No, it sounds like a humble woman who's trying to be humble and doing it for Yah, for our master. What greater cause could there be than to do something that is pleasing to your master, you know, pleasing to, you know, our King, Yehoshua HaMashiach, and pleasing to our husbands or our potential husbands, you know? So yeah, so, you know, as I'm here in my garden and I see flowers and, you know, everything around, I'm thinking to myself, you know, don't be the girl or don't be the woman who's taking a picture with a pretty flower, but be the woman who has her hands deep in the soil and who's planting seeds of righteousness and who's planting seeds of humility and who's planting seeds of truth. Be that woman, because that woman will stand through the test of time, and her legacy, the legacy of her integrity and her righteousness will forever be praised, you know, will forever be remembered by the inheritance of her children, will forever be praised by her husband, will forever be blessed by those who are blessed around her, whom Yah has chosen to allow to be a vessel to carry his message, to do his bidding, to do his work. Be that woman, because that is truly a godly woman. Many women like to dress the part. Unfortunately, you fall short the minute you start worrying about what you're going to wear, but rather than what you are going to do. Don't look like a righteous woman. Be a righteous woman. Don't look like a godly woman. Be the godly woman. Right? Don't pretend to be humble. Be humble. Don't pretend to do the work. Do the work. And that brings me back to my main question. Should we be taking selfies? I can't speak for you and I can't tell you what to do, but what I will say for me is I feel inspired to just take down my selfies. Because again, other than my husband, what man needs to behold all this beauty, you know, you know, and to what good is it for other sisters to behold whatever beauty Yah has given me, right? What good is it? I want you to hear what I have to say. I want you to hear the message that Yah is bringing forth. A message of purity and humility and righteousness and just everything that is good and everything that should be associated with a godly woman, a Torah woman, Okay, so with that, sisters, I hope that this message has somehow edified you, inspired you, and in a way can kind of encourage you to make some changes if necessary in your life, in order to better put yourself, bring yourself low in order for you to better serve Yah, right? Because that's the only way you can truly serve Him, is with a whole heart of humility, a whole heart of humility. You know, I was talking to a sister, where I was writing in our snail mail mailing list. I was writing to a sister, and she was just telling me, like, she loves to be a servant. She loves to serve, and this is what we should all be aspiring to. We should all be aspiring to be the best servant possible, not the prettiest servant possible, but the best servant possible. The most of the one who is giving her all in order to serve Yah, to uplift Yah, to uplift the word, to uplift Hamashiach, to uplift our husbands, right? This is our function, and this is our calling as Torah women, and we need to definitely embrace it. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I will ask you to please subscribe, please like the video, please share it, and pray on it, meditate on it, and let the Spirit lead you in all things. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.